What's going on, guys? Arekkz here, and today I want to talk about game sequels that we definitely need to see. I've been getting all nostalgic lately, looking back at games that, say, I used to really enjoy that I'm kind of hoping might show up at E3 as like HD remasters, and then it got me thinking, there's a load of games that really deserve a sequel. So today, I'm going to give you my top 5 games that we definitely need sequels for. Now, obviously, there'll be a few honorable mentions, things like Battlefield Bad Company. That was a really good game. Another one of them would be great. Or a new Left 4 Dead. Or even, maybe, just maybe, one day we might even get Half-Life 3. But you know what? I don't care about those games. I want to talk about the real list. The real list starts with Lost Odyssey. Lost Odyssey 2, where is it? Come on, guys. I mean, this is a game that if you play back on the Xbox 360 and you like your JRPGs, this is probably in your list of very highly rated games, if not favourite games of all time. Lost Odyssey had a fantastic story, incredible characters, a really cool combat system, and for a lot of people it was almost seen like the spiritual cousin to Final Fantasy in kind of a, evolving age where Final Fantasy was going in a direction that not necessarily everybody was too keen on. Lost Odyssey was almost like the Final Fantasy that everybody wanted, albeit in a different package. There was of course the father of Final Fantasy, Sakaguchi, behind it, so it's no wonder that it was so well received. But the crazy thing about the game is that throughout the whole thing there were so many incredible aspects to it, and then towards the end of it, it was all about to kick off, it was all about to hit off, and then we never got a sequel. It is literally one of those things, especially for TwoSixNine. He is the biggest Lost Odyssey fan. Every single year when E3 comes around and we look at Xbox's press conference, there's rumours where they say like, oh, Microsoft is making a bigger push this year to try and work with Japanese developers. They've gone over to Japan to kind of talk about the future of Xbox. And then we still hear nothing. But you know what? Japan is where Xbox struggles the most, and while this is obviously not a game that is only applicable to a Japanese audience, it is one of those things that I genuinely do hope we see a sequel to one day, because honestly, this, if Microsoft turn around and they were like, you know what? We have Lost Odyssey 2, yo, that would be an absolute game changer. Moving on from there, we then have ASURA'S Wrath. This game was incredible. It came out back in 2012, and for those of you guys, depending on how long you've been with this channel, when I first started this YouTube journey, when me and TwoSix created the channel together, before the Arekkz gaming channel, there was just an Arekkz channel, and that was back when I didn't even have the confidence to speak on videos. I just uploaded raw gameplay, and one of the games that I actually uploaded was ASURA'S Wrath, because honestly, that game was fantastic. For those of you that haven't heard of it before, then the game follows the title character, the demigod Asura, and he seeks revenge on the pantheon of other demigods who betrayed him. There are tons of over-the-top battles, quick-time events, and it's very anime-inspired, even down to the way that the battles take place, even down to the way that the chapters play out. In fact, every single chapter is basically a 20-minute chunk, to the point where when I first uploaded the episodes, people just used to watch the episodes like they were anime episodes because they literally did run for about 20-25 minutes. And it's one of those games that you can just go back and watch it and get hyped. This is a game that if you have never played it, I can't promise you that going back right now will give you the same feelings that it gave me when I first played it, because it's a little dated, but yo, this is a game that if they announce a sequel, whew, it'd be a good day. Now then, in at number 3, we have Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth, ideally number 3.
Stay strong, people! Let them through! Come on! Do not fear them! Hold up, Jonah! Stay sharp! Be on guard!
We've of course had a number 1 and 2. The first one came out on PC in 2004, second one on PC and Xbox in 2006, and I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, alright? I love Lord of the Rings, but I'm also a huge fan of RTSs. And RTS is a genre, real-time strategy, by the way. For those of you unfamiliar with the abbreviation, RTSs are a genre that have kind of started to die out. Now, there have been some in recent years that have been, say, indie projects, but when I think back to when I was playing things like Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth, you also had things like Command & Conquer, you had Red Alert, you had Age of Empires, you had Age of Mythologies. There were so many of them, and honestly, there is no better feeling than building a fat army and just marching into your buddy's base and be like, ha, and then he's completely unprepared for it, hasn't even built half the stuff he needs to, and then you completely annihilate his base. Or you could be the really irritating guy that tries to rush at the beginning of the matches, which is kind of like what I used to do, and then just mess with people that way. Either way, point is, I love RTSs, and Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth was incredible because there were some of the really interesting one-sided battles you could have. I remember back at university when I used to play with 2Six and some of his friends back then, we would have these big 3v1 battles where one person would be in Helm's Deep, they'd be using the walls, they'd be putting the archers all over the walls, and then you just need to try and siege the castle, and honestly, those moments were incredible. I definitely think I lost most of the time, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, it was an incredible experience, and honestly, RTSs themselves need to come back with a vengeance, and Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth, number 3, would be a great start.
Has been turned.
Moving on from there to number 4, strategically chosen because I want to talk about Zelda 4 Swords. What has happened to 4 Swords? This is an aspect of Zelda that I have always loved. 4 Swords, of course, back in 2002, we had the 4 Swords edition to Link to the Past, but then in 2004/5, depending on where you are in the world, we got 4 Swords Adventure on GameCube, and being able to go and embark on a Zelda game, a Zelda adventure with your buddies, yo, that was such an incredible experience. The fact that that extended to, you know, it wasn't just 4 guys running around hacking up enemies, the fact that all the puzzles then required you to work together in different ways, the fact that you then had to split off into many teams to go and, you know, overcome certain aspects, and the fact that, let's be honest, anybody that played 4 Swords probably then went and spent half the time picking their mates up and throwing them off into the edge just to kind of, you know, kill them the rest of the puzzle, which in no way helped progress the story, but was an integral part of the 4 Swords experience. Now, I know following on from that we had Triforce Heroes, which I actually really enjoyed. I know it wasn't to everybody's liking, but I actually really enjoyed Triforce Heroes. However, 4 Swords, especially given how well Switch is doing right now, the timing could not be better. This is a game that will work so well on Switch. I would love it if at E3 they just announced, they were like, hey, surprise, by the way, what we didn't tell you, on the back of the Link's Awakening remaster, we've added 4 Swords. Very unlikely, but if you take it one step further, imagine if they did a 4 Swords in 3D in the Breath of the Wild engine. Imagine all the stuff you can do, all the physics you can mess around with, all the tools you could play with 4 people. That would be a game changer. And then finally, in number 5, this one is kind of a sore subject because at one point we thought we were going to get this sequel, and that is of course for Sleeping Dogs.
Meet Mrs. Chu, Winston's mother.
Osama! I don't know what this guy told you!
佢話俾我聽 ，Winston 死嗰日你就喺嗰度。
Fuck!
家你話俾我聽，邊個叫你做啊？
I don't know what you're talking about, you crazy old bitch! Please!
喂，你而家應該走，你走啦喂。
Wait! Don't leave me here! She's fucking crazy! Okay, I'll tell you anything you want to know! Just please, don't!
Sleeping Dogs is a fantastic game. It launched in 2012, it's set in contemporary Hong Kong. You follow Wei Shen, who is an undercover Hong Kong American police officer, and he's on an assignment to infiltrate the Sun On Yee Triad organization. Now that's the premise for it, but basically, think GTA with martial arts in Hong Kong. basically what you got, right? You had this big open world, you could explore, you can, you know, rob cars, ride vehicles, jump from different vehicles to vehicles. You can use martial arts to just like kick people and fly kick people outside of vehicles. You can then, you know, use these crazy environment KOs to take people out. Combat was awesome, and just in general, it was a fantastic game. I really enjoyed the story, I really enjoyed the gameplay, and you know, there might have been a kind of couple of janky aspects to it, but overall, it was really good. And it's one of those games that at one point it looked like we were going to get a sequel, but then the studio that was working on it, I think they got disbanded or something along the lines of that, and then any kind of hopes of a future Sleeping Dogs 2 were fast shut down. But it wouldn't be the first time we've heard kind of redemption stories or stories where studios have come back from the grave or somebody else has picked it up. So if there was ever a way to make this happen, please, somebody, just bring it back. But anyway, that's it for the time being. That's a rundown of 5 games that I personally think really deserve a sequel. Let me know in the comments down below what other games you guys would add to this list, and of course keep it locked for plenty more videos. I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and also click on the little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss my next upload. Also, don't forget you can check out 269 and Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. Be sure to drop by and get involved. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.